It's not the only view, and in light of AI, I think it's not the only kind of compelling view. So here's the other. So let me just try and rephrase. So the current view is we've got like AI as software. It works in a different way. We have a current set of systems, and we have to integrate this new type of software with our existing systems so that it can get access to data. It can do things, but in a safe way, right? So here's to the kind of end-to-end argument of why this isn't about evolving software systems. The end-to-end argument is these LLMs are non-deterministic, they are smart, they deal with the long tail of complexity, and it turns out those are all things humans do too. And we've spent 40 years building interfaces, processes, and design to deal with messy humans. And, we know who to access and we have access control. And so if you have the mindset that an agent is more like a human and you hire the agent, you give it its own email address, it can access documents like humans can, it can log in, it can request the things that it needs, then it will be drafting on all of the process that we've put in place for humans, not for software. And so I would just encourage us as we have this discussion, like, listen, I grew up like you guys in software. I always think of every system like software, but these models don't integrate well with software. Actually, I think it turns out, and what we're learning as an industry is if you view them more like humans and you draft on the mechanisms we put in place for humans, they're much easier to integrate.
Well, I love that point.
I think we agree with that for sure. I think the issue is humans have a bunch of extra benefits that the agent doesn't have. The human has a lot of context that we get for free by virtue of we can keep track of the myriad relationships that we've built in our organization, and the person to tap on the shoulder when we need something done or we need to get information. That's not documented in a company yet, in a way that the agent can just sort of draft on. And so I think we all would agree that you can't treat this like software. You treat these as people accessing systems and tools. But they're both at a massive advantage that they can work in parallel at infinite scale, and they're at a disadvantage in that they don't know who to tap on the shoulder.
Hey, listen, Aaron, I am all for agent onboarding. Like, the agent comes and it goes to orientation, and then the CEO gives it the culture discussion, and then I'm not kidding.
No, you're probably right.
Every department does their pitch.
Yes.
Like, this is what we do.
Yes.
And I actually honestly think given the technical nature of these agents, and how much entropy they have and kind of how unruly they are, we're gonna have to go through the processes that we've refined around humans.
Yeah. 100%.
Because humans have all of those things.
Yes.
And so I just, it's more about providing schools for them than somehow building some, fancy index database.
Totally agreed.
I mean, of course, what I love about that is you just keep going with the analogy, because what that is it's the same argument that humanoid robots will be the best kind of robot, which is we have a whole world designed for humans. And I saw at the Consumer Electronics Show, I saw this robot go into an elevator, and then there was a button pushing robot on the elevator. So because the robot was a tiny little thing that like a Roomba on the floor, it couldn't push the button. So the same company that invented that robot invented a device you buy for the elevator